Hello everyone and welcome to this series of our Python tutorial. In this series we will be covering basic Python and you need not to have any programming background for this, as we will be completing and explaining every concept in details as we would explain it to any non-technical person. So in this video we will be completing the installation of Python, the latest version which is available in the market, and we will be installing an IDE along with that is integrated development environment, in which we will be writing code or scripts that we will have to execute them. Also we will be using Python command line. I'll explain what that means and how it works when we will get to that. So in this video we will only be installing Python and Pycharm from JetBrains, which we will be using as IDE in our later videos. So first of all, let me give you a small introduction about Python. There are many people who want to learn any programming language but can't decide which one to choose. So I am gonna give you some key features of Python and why should you pursue it. So first of all, Python is actually used in each and every field. It can replace any programming language easily. It's being used in web development, application development, machine learning, blockchain, quantum computing. It's being used in every field possible. So learning Python is actually too vast. No one can learn each and everything in Python. But the benefit of Python is it gives you the power to understand the code of each and every domain, because the syntax of each and every programming language and basic things about that always remains the same no matter which domain it is being used. Also, the second most important point is learning Python is actually quite simpler as compared to other languages, because there are almost each and every function available to be used in different Python libraries. It's just that we have to find the right library to use. I'll explain the concept of library and modules when we get to that topic. So if you don't understand or don't know what that means, so that's okay too. And most of the functions that we will be using will directly mean what the name of function is. For example, if we want to sum any particular series of numbers or any list, so we will just have to use the function named sum. That's all. The name of functions are actually derived from English language, so it's easier to understand what that particular function do. Also, I told you why almost each and every function exists in Python, because Python is an open source language and we can contribute or create our own libraries and share it with the world. So if there is any function that does not exist in Python, there is definite possibility that it will exist in future, because it's being updated at every time's instance. Someone is updating any particular function each and every time. There are two major versions of Python which are being used, that is 2.x and 3.x. We will be using 3.x in this series. There are actually a few changes in version 3.x and 2.x, and 3.x is more preferable nowadays as compared to 2.x. That's why we will be using 3.x in the whole series. Now let's go ahead and dive right in and download Python in our systems and proceed further. So to download Python, we can directly go to python.org, or we can just Google Python, and the first link appears is the official website of Python. So here it is. Let's close on the tab. To download the latest version of Python, we will just have to go to Downloads tab here and click on this button right here. This button right here specifies the version of Python, which is the latest version of Python available in the market, and it will automatically detect your system and will provide you the package according to that. So let's go ahead and download the latest version of Python. So if you just click on this button here, Python installer will be downloaded, in your machine. So if I just click on this, it's being downloaded. I have already downloaded it. There are possibilities that for some specific kind of work we need a specific version of Python, so we can download that too specifically by going to Downloads tab, click here on all the leaves, and if we go down here we can see each and every version of Python specified here, and we can just download the version by just clicking here. Now let's download PyCharm 2, then we will proceed to installation. To download PyCharm, you just have to Google PyCharm, and if you want to read about PyCharm features, you can click on this link, or if you just want to download it, you can click on download PyCharm here. And we will be using community version. If you want to use professional version, you can go ahead and download it, but we will be using community version in this series because it's free and open source. So you can just download by clicking here. Also, there are Windows and Linux option available, so if it's not showing your correct operating system, you can click on that accordingly, and you can download then that particular version from here. So I'm on Mac, so I will be using Mac and click on download, get community version. Thank you for downloading. It's already here. So let's go on and continue with the installation. So if I click on downloads, I've got here Python 3.8.5. That is my installation window here. I continue, readme, continue, agree. So I am on guest user here for installation, so it will be requiring a username or password to complete the installation. So install software, it's installing Python, and it will automatically install Python now. Also, I would like to add a point here for Windows user. We will be running a Python script directly from command line. I will explain that later. So for installation, just make sure that you check the checkbox while installation saying that add Python to path, so you can directly access your Python script without any hassle from any command line. So that will avoid any changes to be made later on to execute our scripts through command line. Also, I would like to add a point for Mac users too. In Mac, there is already a pre-installed version of Python available in Macs. The pre-installed version of Python is Python 2.x, and since we will be using Python 3 here, that's why we will need to install Python 3 separately, because already present version of Python in Mac is 2.x and we will be working on 3.x. So let this installation continue. Now let's head back with PyCharm installation. In Mac it's easier for installation. I'll just have to drag my application to be installed in the applications folder, and I have already installed PyCharm CE. So I'll just stop that, and if you are installing it for the first time, it's easy to install. Just click on next and install. So my Python installation is complete. So guys, if any problem or issue arises while installation, just leave a comment and I'll try to reply you as soon as possible and solve your issue. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.